All right, let's just jump right in. Welcome to this explainer, where we're unpacking a really fascinating breakdown by entrepreneur Ankur Warikoo. We're going to tackle two massive, absolutely crucial questions today. What exactly is a personal brand? And honestly, why is it so incredibly important for your survival in today's super noisy digital world?
So I want you to literally ask yourself this right now. Are you a personal brand? Because if you're like most people, you're probably shaking your head thinking the answer is no, kind of assuming that whole concept is strictly reserved for massive influencers or celebrities.
But here's the thing, and Warikoo really hits the nail on the head here, building a brand just isn't optional anymore. Everybody who wants to be successful is going to become a content creator, either by choice or by force. I mean, there's really no other option left. You're either doing it intentionally or, well, it's just happening to you by default.
Okay, so let's move into section 1. You are a personal brand.
You know, people constantly confuse the actual concept of a brand with the medium itself. They think, well, I don't post trending dancing reels on TikTok or vlog my morning routine every day, so clearly I'm not a creator. But that is such a trap. A personal brand can literally be writing a thoughtful post on LinkedIn. It could be sending out a monthly newsletter to your internal team at work. It's really just about putting your unique perspective out there.
Warikoo actually loves to do this specific exercise with live audiences, and it's brilliant. He asks them 3 simple things. First, do people know you by your name? Second, do people know you by your work? And third, do people know your nature, like how you actually treat others? And in any given audience, almost every single hand shoots straight up for all 3. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. If you raised your hand to those questions, congratulations, you are inherently a personal brand. Every single human who interacts with others has one. The only difference between you and, say, someone like Elon Musk is just the scale of the audience. The scale hinges, sure, but the actual existence of the brand, it's exactly the same.
Which brings us to section 2, the 3 pillars of trust.
Building that trust really comes down to 3 things, starting with the first pillar, your nom, or your name. Actually, think of it less as your literal name and more as your established reputation. It's the point of view other people hold about you when you aren't even in the room. If someone asks a friend about you, whatever answer they give based on your past actions, that is your nom at work.
Then we have the second pillar, which is your com, or your work. This one is straightforward, but obviously vital. It represents exactly what you do, your tangible output, and the actual professional value you provide to the world around you. It's the visible evidence of your skills. And the final, and honestly probably the most important pillar, is your fitrit, or your nature. If someone is just watching you from afar, how do you interact with people? What kind of things do you say? Your fitrit dictates your core personality, and together with your name and your work, it completely forms your persona. I really challenge you to think about that. How are you actively shaping those 3 pillars in your own daily life right now?
Let's dive into section 3, the authenticity engine. Trying to fake your name, work, or nature is just a massive losing game. And why is that? Because putting on a mask every single day is completely exhausting. And eventually, under the heavy pressure of time, that mask is going to shatter. An authentic persona, on the other hand, is completely effortless because, well, you're just being yourself.
Now, this part is actually mind-blowing to me. Audiences are constantly, subconsciously measuring you, but they aren't necessarily measuring if your persona is perfectly right or wrong in some moral sense. No, they are measuring if you are predictable and consistent. Warikoo points out that if a 25-year-old creator is constantly talking about making money, fast cars, and giant houses, and they do it every single day, people will follow them because they are attracted to that specific, consistent conversation. Conversely, if someone else talks only about simplicity and spirituality every day, people will follow them for the exact same reason, consistency. We self-select who we follow based on where we are in our own life journey.
But here's the catch. To be consistent, you absolutely have to be real. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can be consistent at doing something that is not authentically them. Genuine consistency is physically impossible if you are pretending. Try to fake it, and at some point you will break. And the second that happens, the trust and the brand is completely gone.
All right, moving on to our final segment, section 4, finding your unique tribe.
450 million. That staggering number represents the monthly YouTube users in India alone. When you hear that, it sounds incredibly intimidating, right? How on earth can you possibly be heard over 450 million people? But this massive scale is actually your absolute biggest advantage.
Check this out. Out of those 450 million monthly users, extremely successful creators like Ranveer Elabadia have captured maybe 10 million. That's roughly 2%. Ankar Warikoo himself has captured less than 1%. Just look at that massive uncaptured slice. The pie is so unimaginably huge that you literally do not need to conquer the whole world to succeed.
So how do we survive all this crazy noise? By realizing the market is massive enough for everyone. Even someone as huge as Mr. Beast hasn't captured the whole internet. Because people self-select the creators they follow, there's always an audience out there looking for exactly what you have to offer. Even if your content isn't perfectly polished, if you just put your true self out there consistently, you are mathematically guaranteed to find your tribe.
So, I really want to leave you with this beautiful life lesson straight from the source. Just stop trying to impress everyone. It's not worth it. Remain who you truly are and watch to see who is naturally impressed by your authenticity. So what does your authentic personal brand look like? What is the core message of your unique tribe? Think about it and leave a comment below letting us know. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.